Hello guys, today we learned the reverse conducting thyristor called as a RCT. This is the as in figure the symbol is given of the RCT. Now what is the RCT? See construction diagram of the RCT. RCT is nothing but the two diodes connected anti-parallel. This thyristor is used in chopper and inverter circuits to allow the reverse current due to inductive load to flow through the anti-parallel diode. This reverse blocking voltage of the RCT is very low. Typically, it is in the range of 30 to 40 volt. Now see the characteristics of the RCT. The characteristics of RCT is same as that of the SCR as shown in figure. There will be the reverse characteristics same as that of the diode and forward characteristics are same as that of the SCR. Only gate current is absent here. Gate current is present but not shown in figure. Now see light activated SCR. It is called as a LASCR. See the definition of LASCR. LASCR is nothing but the light activated silicon controlled rectifier, and it is on when you can insert the light on it. See the symbol of the schematic diagram of the LASCR. There will be three terminals. First is anode, second is cathode, and third is gate. And on the base of this, at the cathode side, we can say that the light is inserted on this SCR. Due to this activated of the light, SCR get turned on, hence it is called as the light activated SCR. Now see the construction diagram of the SCR. Here construction diagram is made of silicon material as shown in figure, and here see this construction diagram is made of silicon, and we can say that here the upper cover is made up of the glass lens, so that when we can insert the light it can be easily inserted. Now see the light intensity. See here the light intensity dislodges the electrons in the semiconductor device, and so that it get turned on as shown in figure. Now see next part, working of LASR, how the LASR get turned on. This LASR works on the principle of photoconduction, that is the conduction due to the photons shrinking on the semiconductor surface. This LASR is basically a thyristor which is made of the semiconductor material, and uppermost layer will be of the glass material. The light rays falling on this device are focused on this one place on of a specific intensity. Now due to this light intensity, it more will electrons will current will flow through this LACR, and due to this current flowing through this, it get turned on. Now see the operations. Operation will be same. Next is applications. Where it is used, it is used in low power applications. Then second is used, this LASR used for motor control. This is also used in computer based applications, also used for the optical light controls and solid state relay. Now next part is UJT. In UJT, it is called as a unijunction transistor. This unijunction transistor, it is called as a unijunction because only one junction, that is one PN junction, is present there, hence called as a unijunction transistor. Then it is a three terminal semiconductor switching device. These terminals are emitter, then base 1 and base 2 as shown in figure. This emitter and base 2 junction will form one junction. This emitter side is a p-type material and base one side is the n-type material, and between this p and n one junction is formed called as a p-n junction. Only one junction is present, hence it is called as a unijunction device. Now this n-type of the silicon slab is a non-conducting type of the material, and base 1 and base 2 are the rectifying contacts, or these are the contacts insulated from these terminals. Now see what happened here. Here unique, here base 1 and here base 2 as shown in figure. This is the unijunction transistor and it is also known as a double base diode. Why it is called as a double base diode? Because base 1 and base 2 double base is there, hence called as a double base diode. The unique switching characteristics of the UJT makes it different from the conventional BJT, that is bipolar junction transistor, and FET, that is a field effect transistor, by acting as a switching transistor instead of amplifying the signal. This UJT is also acts as a triggering device, also acts as a switching device. Now it exhibits the negative resistance in the characteristics which employ it as a radiation oscillations. Now see the symbol and construction of UJT. Here the basic construction is shown in figure and also symbol is also given there. How does the unijunction transistor works? Now see here the this simplified equivalent circuit is shown below. Here, one diode is present and anode side terminal is called as a emitter, and this diode cathode is connected to the between two resistors. This diode form the junction called as a PN junction, and only one junction is there. Now see the base side resistance is called as a RB1 and base 2 side resistance is called as a RB2, and in between that the one point is common and diode is connected to this point. Now see how this middle terminal resistor voltage is calculated. Here voltage divider rule is applied and we can get the voltage, that is VRB1 is nothing but ground side resistor, that is resistor of the base 1, that is RB1, divided by total resistance, that is base 1 side resistance and base 2 side resistance. It is the addition of both resistance, that is RB1 plus RB2 into applied voltage VBB. Here base 2 is applied to more voltage or a more potential than the base 1, means base 2 is at positive potential as compared to the base 1. Now see the characteristics. These characteristics of the SCR divided into three regions. First is cutoff region, second is negative resistance region, and third is the saturation regions. What happen in the cutoff region? Here in cutoff region, applied voltage, that is the emitter voltage, is less than the peak voltage, and in this case your UJT, that is unijunction transistor, is in off state. It is in off state so that its characteristics is shown in the negative side. Now see what happens when your applied voltage, that is the emitter voltage, reach to peak voltage. After peak voltage, that is up to peak point, after that you are by increasing emitter current is on the x-axis and emitter voltage is on the y-axis. When your emitter voltage reach to peak voltage, after that by increasing the emitter current, your emitter voltage goes on decreasing. This decreasing voltage or decreasing curve is nothing but the negative resistance region. In this case, your resistance increasing current resistance, your voltage goes on decreasing, hence called as a negative resistance region. Up to its specific limit, it will goes on decreasing, and after some point, after some limit, by increasing the emitter current, it again goes on increasing. This point, at which point it goes on increasing, this point is called as a valley point, and this valley point current is present called as a valley current, and this at this valley point voltage is present called as a valley voltage. Means when you are after specific limit, your negative region means voltage goes on decreasing by increasing this current. After this, when it reach to this limit, after that by increasing current your voltage also goes on increasing and your UJT goes in saturation region. These are the three regions. Now next point is applications of the UJT, where it is used. First is it is used as a switching device. Next is it is used as a triggering device for the triac. Triac is a thyristor type of the device. Diac, triac, these are the thyristors, and for triggering this thyristor, UJT is used as a triggering device. Next is it is used as a for the phase control. It is used in the timing circuits, used in the phase control devices. Next is it is used in timing circuits, used in the sawtooth generator. Sawtooth is nothing but your sawtooth type of the wave generation. UJT is used, and it is also used in the simple relaxation oscillator. Thank you guys.